So what is going on, guys? It is Fluxy here. I'm bringing a different style of video today. I really want to talk about the state of the game on Rust console at the moment and talk about kind of the recent updates that we've had and also speculate a little bit towards the future. The most recent update we had was the quality of life update back in, I believe it was the end of November or the around the start of December, and then we had a kind of part 2 to that, the January patch, most recently bringing in the combat log 2.0 and new controls for vehicles such as submarines and boats. And I think that's really something important that we can focus on, as why would they change the vehicle controls? I think it's quite interesting because, in my opinion, the vehicle's controlled fine. Like, I never had any complaints. I think the submarines could have been a bit more easier to control, but overall I think it was definitely serviceable. And I think the only reason they would change this is if we were to get some kind of vehicle in the future. And I mean, I'll be honest, I think the game really needs a big update, and the developers have said that this is coming. I'm pretty sure in the last dev blog they said that a big update was coming soon, and they knew this was happening. But in my opinion, it has to be something related to transport, and I think the prior update suggests this with the change to the vehicle controls and the acceleration. Personally, I think motorbikes and pedal bikes would be the most likely vehicles we would be able to get, as I think they pretty much could make them go at the speed of a thoroughbred horse with the proper horseshoes, because those do go quite fast, and I think they could easily just make the motorbike go as fast as that, and obviously using low grade for the fuel. I think it's a relatively easy thing for them to add to the game, and probably one of the most likely things, given how I assume it would be not too hard to just pull the model and put it into the game. I know there's been a lot of speculation in the community recently. I believe Jade Monkey did say that they may be adding minis and cars, and I mean it's definitely a possibility. We know that they want to add those at some point, and every update we're getting closer and closer to that PC parity. I think we're a long way away, but I think adding some kind of vehicles would go a long way towards actually helping a lot of players see that the developers are very passionate about this game and they do want to take it up to the next level with every update, and I think adding vehicles would definitely do that. Separate to vehicles, I think zip lines would also be a really nice addition to the game. Obviously they allow you to go from point to point, and it's also a faster method of transportation, while allowing you to actually farm those zipline towers as well for additional components. And I think that would be quite a meta shift in the game, as you would find a lot of people building further away from monuments because they could use the zip lines to actually get closer to those monuments. But yeah, I think it's all well and good talking about the future of the game, but I wouldn't be doing you all a service if I didn't talk about what I think about the current state of the game. I think we all know that the game really does require an update, and it needs something big to bring people back and keep the people playing interested. I know a lot of people are also talking about them dropping old gen support and moving only to new gen, and I think this is a possibility for this year. Obviously, Rust has been on old generation platforms since the start now, back in 2021, and that was 4 years ago. And now, most recently, the PlayStation 5 actually was shown to have 75 million console sales, with the Xbox Series consoles having around 25 million. So with 100 million players altogether in their user base, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people have these next-gen consoles at this point in time. So I don't think Rust console would lose much of its player base if it did actually just move to next gen. And I think it's a fairly important thing to mention, as making the game new gen only would bring forth a lot of changes to the game. I think we'd see a lot of graphical changes. I think the game would look a lot better. But yes, I think that making the game new gen only is something that developers should focus on this year. I think it is the right time for it. I know people were talking about the developers signing a contract or something like that to keep the game on old gen, but I mean, it's been 4 years, man. I think this game needs a refresh, and I know that there's a lot of people that want to come back to the game, but they're waiting on these important updates like minis, like new gen only versions of the game. They really want to play this game, and this is a game I really want to see flourish. So I genuinely believe if the developers decide to just focus on new gen, it would be one of the best things for the game. Aside from that, I think that in the next few updates, the developers need, and I repeat, need to add the newest weapons that have been added on PC to console Rust. I believe it really would shake up the meta, for instance, having the handmade SMG or having the new 4-shot mini crossbow. I think it would really shake up the prim meta. And then obviously for late game as well, you have the new revolver and you have the SKS. And that's not even mentioning the minigun, which is just crazy. Like, I can't even imagine raiding someone's base with a minigun with explo ammo. Like, that would be the most insane thing ever. Overall, I'm just really excited for the future of Rust console. This is a game I've put over 3,400 hours into at this point, and I'm just now starting to get into actually making content for the game. I'm going to stick with this game forever, and I hope you decide to stick with my channel. Please like and subscribe. I've been Fluxy. Enjoy your wipe.